Morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, morning, Eric.
Yeah, today we talk about the five most things we regret in college life. Yeah,
Yep.
and so let me ask you one question first. How many years you spend in college?
4 years.
Mm. If including the A level, I also
Mm.
spent around 4 years in
Yep.
college. Yeah. So so in these 4 years, mm, do you see the thing you regret is like kind of like accumulate in a specific 1 year, or actually is wise is well distributed that's in the 4 years.
Okay, I have yeah, I have five most regrets, and then I think four of them is actually um it's actually not just 1 year thing. Yeah, it is like
Mm.
yeah, it is the uh it can be like continue. It is not just one thing and one issue.
So it actually means that you can do the thing in the 4 years, but you didn't, is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm. Yeah. And is there any patterns for those things? Maybe
Oh,
you
pattern.
can, yeah, you can have some uh general categories. I know it's not the good terms to describe it, but
Mm.
what I want to say is maybe we can see something, uh mm, the similarity or some
Mm.
patterns from these the regrets, our regrets, and
Mm.
also we can like conclude into one, and because it could be our own inherent weakness.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a good point. You look at a few great things in our life, and yeah, after thinking, I think I can have two things. Yeah, categorize them into two, and the first one is awareness. Yeah, it is like lack of awareness, and the second category is lack of action, which is like we didn't take action.
Mm, yeah, so uh um but almost all of the regret is follow this pattern, right? Lack of awareness and lack of action.
Yep.
Or maybe you do too much actions. Mm.
Oh.
uh yeah, because when you regret something, either you do nothing, either you do the wrong thing, is it?
Mm, yep.
Mm.
Yep.
So either it's lack of action or either is the wrong action. And about the awareness, yeah, it could be totally related to the awareness, because if we know the consequences, we wouldn't do it,
Mm,
or
yes.
we wouldn't do nothing. Yeah,
Mm,
and I think this is a very good point, because we see uh, a very very big picture about the nature of greed. First, lack of awareness. The second is lack of action or wrong actions have been conducted. Mm. Yeah. So, is there any other patterns?
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What is the last
Um,
sentence?
is there any other patterns?
Other patterns.
Mm.
Um. Yeah. For example, I think. Yeah. It's mostly because of the two that I mentioned just now.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So what are the things you regret when you are in college?
Mm. Yep. Yeah, should I say one by one or just tell
Yeah,
you
you
what
can.
are those five?
What? What's the last sentence?
Yeah, I mean, do I need to elaborate each of the great things or what?
Uh, yeah, I think maybe without further elaboration first.
Okay. Yeah. So I tell you according to the categories. The
Okay.
awareness one, I think number one is I give actually a bad advice to my friend, to one of my friend.
Mm.
Yeah. And the second is I study for exam. Yeah. I think I didn't like really to think the things that I learned and then um, without deeper consideration, I just like prepare that for exam. Will this come out? Will this not come out? So what am I going to memorize? Yep. Second. And the third one about awareness is the library. Yeah, I
Mm.
think I go to the library. I didn't make use of the library. Not only that, I actually make a lot of noises in the library. Yeah, which right now I think it is quite like um, silly and irresponsible.
Mm.
Yeah, so these three is about awareness, and
Okay. Mm.
the other two is lack of action. Yeah, the first one is I didn't start a relationship, yeah, even though I have uh, encountered uh, a few
Many
times.
girls. See? What you want to
Sorry,
say?
many girls. Yeah,
You
many
see?
crush. Yeah, a few crush.
Oh.
Uh, so I didn't take action, even though it may not be successful. But if you do nothing, you will feel like maybe I can get it, or maybe you will learn more things. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
Not
don't
set.
know what will happen.
Mm. Yeah. Don't let your girlfriend know about this because she will think you are not satisfied with the current relationship.
Yeah,
Mm.
regret, right?
Yeah. 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 Thinking to start a new one. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So how about the last one?
Yeah, the last one is the English conversation. Yeah, for this one,
Mm.
actually, I had the chance because I have one Indian friend at that time, and one time she asked me out. She asked me to go to the library, and then we study. Uh, yeah, I said okay. And then on that day, actually, we because she can only speak English, and at that time I didn't speak much English. So that is totally unfamiliar with me. But actually, she didn't mind. She just didn't mind uh, my bad English, and then she can accept even I reply in a
Mm.
few words. Yeah, just a few words like, okay, I think you're right. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. I can just reply, even though my vocabulary is much more than that at that time, but just I'm familiar in
Mm.
speaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So.
after that, I
Mm.
didn't continue. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I feel regret.
Yeah. So you actually can do the fourth and the fifth things at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And for me, the first one is English. Is quite similar to you, and the second is the coding. And
Mm,
yeah, I learned coding, but maybe it's too difficult for me. Maybe I didn't I didn't be determined. So I actually just learn a little. I didn't keep spending time on learning the coding or start or just try to code something.
mm,
Yeah. And the third one is about my communications problem, and it's also related to the bad attitude. And I think my bad attitude actually hurts a few of my friends. Yeah, and
mm,
actually I can actually I mean, I can actually do better and without having the bad attitude, have a better attitude, and also because I always have a good intention. Yeah, this is also one of my values. I
Mm.
mean, how I see the world, how I one of my worldview, and I want to
Yeah.
contribute. I want to help them, but I using maybe the wrong attitude. Yeah, so they didn't get the help, and yeah, and also it's quite strange because if I couldn't help them, I feel they don't want to receive the help, but
Mm.
they don't have any uh how to say, they don't need to
Obligation.
they don't need to they don't need to accept my help, and also I have no responsibility for their life. I can give an advice, but I couldn't help them. I couldn't guide them one by one, and also I couldn't share I'm the most absolute correct person.
Mm.
Yeah. And the fourth one is start the relationship. Is it quite similar as to you? Yeah.
Mm.
And the last one, if I want to say, it could be I didn't try to do a startup. Mm. Yeah, maybe just try. Mm. Just
Mm.
try to do something. Just try to like make money. Mm. Do do some form an idea and then really execute the plan and the
Mm.
idea. I didn't do it. Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So just now you talk about the bad advice. So what is the advice?
Mm. Yeah, for this one, yeah, one of my friend, I think I remember that is the second year in our college. It is for the second year also in degree. And yeah, my friend actually failed quite a lot of subject. Uh, and then actually me too. Yeah, and at that time he was considering whether to continue studying, yeah, or give up and then to did his work. Yeah, at that time he is doing his work. He was doing his work in college, and at that time my advice is just like, oh, don't give up. Yeah, you have spent so much money, so much time, efforts in the college, and now it's the second year. It is like already uh, halfway, yeah, to the destination. Uh, and I actually didn't consider much other than that. Yeah, and I keep telling him not to give up, just because he has spent so much money and uh, time and efforts. Yep, and at the end, he studied for one more year, spend more money, and after that he fell and he leave the college, didn't complete the degree. And I think it's not because of the result made me regret. Yeah, it's because of at that time my advice isn't comprehensive enough. Yeah, and at that time actually I know that he was quite busy at his work, and he seldom have time uh, to spend on his studies. And sometimes even a few classes he didn't come because maybe he has to work, yeah, the part-time work. Yep. So he was so busy, and my advice should be like, yeah, the time. Yeah, I should advise him to manage his time better. And if nothing changed, like he still has to work so much, he still couldn't spend more time on study, then I think that could be a problem. You should like make a change. Either is more time on study, less time on work. But I have to figure out maybe the financial problem because I know that he earns the money for his college fees by himself. And yeah, so I think at that time I should um, give a better advice instead of keep telling don't give up. Yeah, of course I know he didn't make the decisions because of my advice. Yeah, but just the advice make me like feel um yeah, it's like not a good advice. Yeah, without thinking
Mm.
much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm. And why he's so busy? And I mean, uh, why is his part-time job?
Yeah, his part-time job is actually a tuition teacher.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
and he was coming from uh, another state, which is Sabah,
Mm.
and he's staying with his brother here, as I know, and then he also fund his own college fee. Yeah, and I don't know why he couldn't get uh, the. I'm not
PTPTN
sure
loan?
he get the PTPTN or he didn't. I'm not sure. Maybe not fully. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and it actually linked to another bigger question, which is also an issue.
Mm.
Now the education fee actually increased a lot and also will keep increasing.
Mm.
This is
Yeah.
a trend. Nobody will deny this. And also many people, many family actually don't have that much money to support all the child or the child graduate from secondary school, go to
Mm.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but without thinking, without second thoughts, they want their child go to college. And they believe the PTPN loan is enough, is sufficient to support the whole the whole study fees or the whole fee that you were going to incur in college, but it's totally wrong. Yeah, you have many costs that's not going to cover.
Mm.
And also PTPN loan, uh, if you study in the private college, you are not going to get the full loans. I mean, the full amount that enough to cover for the whole period.
Mm.
You need to
Yeah.
top up some money. Yeah, and maybe for public university in Malaysia, you can get a full. Yeah, you can get a full coverage.
Mm.
Yeah, and people didn't do the mathematics. They don't calculate, even though they learn. This is just a very simple mathematic, elementary mathematic. Hmm. But they don't try to calculate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the problem. And I
Mm.
think this link to your next point, we should study just for exam, is it?
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. We study so many subjects in the college as well as in the secondary school. I think I didn't change my study attitude in the secondary school as well as college. You can say that I bring this attitude to my college also, which is the first year I actually prepared the exam few days, just few days before the exam. And yeah, this is about the exam. And then before that, the whole year, I don't really like spend time to learn the things in the books and then to try to find out more, to try to think more. the subjects. There are so many research and then in the books being discussed. But yeah, I just treat them as, oh, this is something come out in the exam, and just my target is the exam. Just go for that. Yep. And beside that, I think there is very little learning uh, in in the college for me.
Mm. Yeah. But do you think focus on exam is really a bad thing, or do you just think mm, okay, actually, let me reconstruct my question.
Yeah.
The first thing is, do you think focusing on exam is actually in conflict with learning additional thing? Yeah, learning a useful thing that may apply in reality. I use the verb. Sorry. I use I use the vocab may, because we are not going to know whether it will it can be applied or it will be applied in reality. We can only just guess. Yeah, so it may be applied on reality. So do you think these two things is in conflict? You either
Uh,
spend time focus on one side, or you actually they are they can be the same thing. Mm.
yeah, yeah. Would you mind repeat your question again? Which is
Yeah.
like, firstly you say compliment and then you say conflict. Uh, what do you mean?
Oh, I mean, uh, do you think uh you can at the same time focusing on exam, which is achieve a very high academic result,
Mm.
achieve high mark in exam, and at the same time learn a lot of useful thing?
Yeah, I think exam and learning, they are complement.
Mm.
If you spend times in really learning, and that is also something beneficial for exam. It also proves that exam is not just like memorize something and write it in. I have tried so many times. In secondary school, it works really well. You can get the top marks, top score. But in the college, if you memorize, uh, firstly the topic, you should really get the uh, accurate topic so that you memorize things. The things that you memorize can be fit into that question. Yeah, even you do that, maybe you can get a good marks for that question. But how about the other questions? It really require you to like write down what you have learned instead of what is in the textbook.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think learning can help exam. Exam doesn't really help learning.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just now you say the friend that you give the advice
Mm.
fail the exam very badly, right? And
Yeah.
if right now you can give the advice again, what advice will you give him?
Yep. For this one, I will focus. I will help him to figure out the the time he has to spend on work. It's basically the time management, and to see whether uh, he can make some changes, maybe the work time and then the study time, and then if he couldn't if that is only like unchangeable, then yeah, I think I should give an opposite advice, which is like, yeah, if you didn't change anything, then this was gonna be tough, and yeah, I don't think you should do that. You should change something, because obviously the problem is you didn't spend much time on study, so yeah, you probably will get the same result as last year.
But she come here for study, right? And she's and she work because he work because he don't have money to study.
Yeah.
So if he quit, so what is the purpose of coming here?
Actually, his brother is here, and his sister-in-law is also here. They are here for working for many years already. So I think he comes here also because of looking for a job, because of the job opportunity. I'm not very sure. And he did also say thinking of going to Singapore to work. Yeah.
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 And do you think after he quit, he cannot come back to study?
After he quit, I think he won't come back to study.
But
Yeah.
can he come back?
Come back. Of course he can. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you should include this in your advice. I mean, yeah, because you come here, and maybe you come here for work, because at the end we are going to work, but you are aiming for higher salary, so that you study first. Otherwise, you wouldn't think about studying college. You just directly go to work. And so that means in your mind, you know the trade-off. You know you need if you spend 3 years time in college, and then after you get a degree, and you can get much higher salary. And this is the view of yours. I mean your friend. And but the expectation seems like not favorable to you, because the subject is tough.
Yeah.
And now you don't have money
Yeah.
to support. You don't have you don't have enough financial support for your study. So that it end up like you come here for study, but because you don't have money, you need to work. And then you work, and do you really like the work? Do you really think after graduate you are going to work this career? Is the career scalable? Is the career really need a degree? Yeah, is it something that you want to focus on in your career? Or is it just a job? It's just a part-time job to finance your starting fee. If there's a case, what you come here for?
Yeah.
You come here, you want to learn, but you don't have time to learn, and then you work. But what you work for? You work for something that is not going to work, because you don't have time to study, you don't have time to learn. Everyone have only 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't go to the class, and how can you study by your own? If you can study by your own, you don't need to come to college.
Yeah. Yeah. Self-learning.
Yeah. And the attendance is really a big indicator for the achievement of the academic and in an exam. Yeah, everyone know about this. And so you really need to figure out. So you really need to figure out whether you can change the time. Maybe you need to work less. You need to work less, and you need to spend more time on study, and also you need to change your studying strategy. And also, not only that, you need to You need to catch up all the progress that you have fall behind. Yeah. And because you feel some subject, and if you want to graduate within 3 years without delaying, that means you need to take 1 more or 2 more subject. And that means initially you cannot fulfill. I mean, you cannot pass with only like 4 exams already. And then now you need to take like 5 or 6 exams at the same time. And then at the same time, you just reduce some of your time at work. Is it going to work? No, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it is tougher, right?
Yeah, it's tougher. Even so, that means even though you want to reduce the working time, and it also means that less income, but also more the time you need to spend in studying increase, the volume increase. So it's kind of like the time allocated on each subject is maybe remain unseen. Yeah, I mean remain unchanged, or maybe even reduced. So that another perspective is about the finance. So that means probably you need to extend 1 more year or 2 more years. Other people can graduate within by using 3 years. You need 4 years. You need 5 years. Yeah. How about your finance? Is it enough to support? If not enough, then the whole plan is not going to work. Yeah. So, but it doesn't mean that you cannot come back study after some times. Maybe you can do the full-timer. You can do a full-time job and you can get more salary, and you can try something maybe you really like about teaching. You can try, or you can try to do some work that you are interested that also you are going to learn something.
Yep.
Yeah. For example, you maybe you want to try accounting job. Yeah, because you are studying accounting. And you go to find an accounting job, and after some time you gain your knowledge, and then maybe after 1 or 2 years you can come back to study. Yeah, and the cost you spend in the college is not going to disappear. You just need to pay maybe 1 or 2,000 additional cost to continue. Yeah, to maybe like to keep the status active. Yeah. So and you can study by your own. You don't need to go to attend a class or something like that. Yeah. And yeah, so the and if after some time you really want to come back to study, you can do that, because at that time you got enough money. Yeah. So is it not something like the decision you have made is totally irreversible? Yeah. So this is something I would tell if I had to give the advice like this. Yeah, of course, maybe a few years ago when I was in college, I couldn't give this kind of advice. Yeah, because a lot of concept I didn't fully understand. For example, the irreversible, whether something can you can do it after you quit. You can come back. Yeah. And most of the time we think that after we quit we will lose everything. No, many of the time it's not the case. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, talk about the English because I think this is also one of our common one, right?
Yep, yeah, in
And
common.
mm, so why you want to have an English conversation at that time, and also why you didn't start doing it.
I think the time that uh, we have the conversation, we study together, that is just one uh, chance to me, one opportunity to me, which actually I didn't take initiative. Is uh, is that I think it's like we yeah, I think it's not like she asked me to go study together. It is like at that I'm sorry. On that day, I was studying and she was studying, and yeah, and she saw that we are studying the same subject, so she just come here and then say maybe we have something we can discuss. Uh, so that chance, we are on this, we are in the same table. Yeah, and then we also did discuss something, and then we also did chat uh,
Mm,
something which is not about the subject. And yeah, I feel like actually that is a, a rare chance to me in the
mm,
college. Even the college is English speaking. For me to speak English, and yeah, I think if I continue to uh, keep a contact with her, and then yeah, I would learn more, and maybe I would start the conversation earlier. And yeah, I think yeah, I just didn't do that.
mm.
Mm.
But is this the only time you have the awareness that you want to have an English conversation? You want to improve your English speaking skill, or is it one of things that you mentioned just now? Is it a continuous? It's just in a specific 1 year or in a specific moment.
Um, yeah, I mean, if I continue to study maybe like every Tuesday or every Wednesday, then this is gonna last for the next few years.
No, I mean,
And
no, I mean the thing you regret is it something that if you miss it and you will miss it forever, or you miss it uh
uh,
for your
no,
uh
just particular
uh,
that time.
in your entire college life, of you actually yeah, you actually can do it anytime you want. Yeah, so I mean, is it something like about the awareness, or do you really want to improve? Do you really have a thought to improve your English speaking when you are in college? This is my
Um, I
question.
I think yes, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe it is not strong. I mean the
Mm,
thinking. Yeah, and then it is
yeah.
like I also try a few times to type to use English to chat with my friend, at least in the maybe WhatsApp or
Mm.
messages. Um, yeah, but yeah, just didn't continue. Yeah,
mm. So why? Why didn't continue?
because sometimes when you say something, you don't know how to express when the thing is urgent. You automatically
Mm.
change it to Chinese, or maybe it's your friend, the opponent, sorry, the counterparty, use the Chinese first, and then after a few
mm.
times, you will also feel like, oh, is it like rude if I keep using English, but he already
Mm.
used Chinese with me? Yeah,
Mm.
but for Indian friends, I think it is a really good chance because other than these, what you can use, maybe Malay language, I'm not good either, even worse.
Mm. Yeah. But you did say something to me, which is, uh, if you get a call, or if you call the, let's say, the government department,
Yeah.
the first language you will use is Malay, it's not English when
Mm.
speaking. Is it? So I
Um,
assume
mm.
the conversation ability in Malay is better than English. uh maybe a few years ago, is it?
Okay, I think for that, Malay actually, I am more familiar, even though maybe I know less word. Um, yeah, but I just Malay is more familiar. English really is something that I didn't use to speak
Mm,
uh with other people. Yeah,
yeah.
we have
But
learned so
how
many years English.
but how can we be so unfamiliar? We have spent, I would say, more than 10 years. Some people some people just like around 15 years. Yeah, right.
Mm, yep.
In English, because some people uh go to the kindergartens maybe when they are at 2 or 3, and then they start learn English, very simple English, and then until they graduate from secondary school and go to college, yeah, this could be around 15 years, 10 years to 15 years. How can we be so unfamiliar? We have spent 10 to 15 years
Mm,
in quote unquote learning English.
mm, yep.
Yeah,
It's
this is
really,
a
I think it's
problem.
really
Mm,
not taking action to speak. For the Malay language also is the same. Um, my first ever job, which is selling, being a promoter, in a clothes selling shop, and then yeah, I think the majority of the customer is either Chinese or Malay. And at that time, my Malay is really bad, and because I have to speak, because I couldn't just ignore the customers. I have to maybe use a little English and then try to ask them something like, "Oh, I don't understand. Could you tell me more?" and something like that. And the speaking in the reality, the learning, and will get you familiar with the speaking, even though your speaking is like imperfect. Yeah, but it
mm,
doesn't matter.
yeah, totally agree. Mm. Yeah, so let's go to the next point about the start of relationship. Yeah, just now you talk about your English friend, and the did did she beautiful, at least in your uh what is it
In my
called?
eye.
Yeah, yeah, in your preference.
I think, yeah, if you ask me whether uh, she is attractive, I think yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is like, um, if you look at the appearance, it is acceptable.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, I would consider uh, him as her as a like have the chance to be girlfriend. I just mean the appearance.
mm, mm,
Even though she is Indian, yeah, I think she's also quite good looking.
mm.
Yep.
Yeah, is this the only change? I mean, is this the only opportunity that comes to you?
Yeah, I think no. Uh,
Mm,
yeah, not the only one. Yep.
mm,
Yep.
yeah.
But for that one, I think yeah, because I think it's mainly because of something like culture. Yeah, automatically,
Mm,
we
yes.
won't like consider looking for a girlfriend which is from another race.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, just maybe if we have more meetings after that, after some times, maybe yeah, I would consider.
Yeah. And one of my feeling uh after after grown up, and it's like when I was in maybe the secondary school,
Yeah.
when it's just a time that we have the awareness that we can start the start a relationship. Yeah, of course, in primary school you also can do that, but I think this is kind of like a little bit premature relationship,
Mm.
and you are not you are not understand what you are doing. You just like the person, you just like the girl, and you want to keep stay together with her. Yeah, and you couldn't differentiate whether this is a romantic relationship or this is just a friendship. I think
Mm.
in primary school, many people, even though they have started the relationship, they will have this kind of feeling.
Mm.
But when you go to secondary school, when we learn more and we start to have the ability to differentiate the friendship and the intimate relationship. Mm.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
okay, what's my feeling? My feeling is in secondary school, the girl uh, uh, is like beautiful and also is like look uh, attractive,
Mm.
and we think this is neutral. I mean, this is yeah, it's beautiful, but this is not that attractive that will make me take action,
Mm.
something like this. And but if after graduate and then you look back their picture, and also uh if you can meet her, if you can meet them in real life, and your father, oh shit, why in secondary school I don't take action? This girl is so beautiful
Mm.
right now. Yeah, and also some of the girl is not that attractive, and to you a little bit like the unattractive. Okay, uh, but after graduate and you found out, oh, actually, yeah, she or there is also quite attractive.
Mm. Yeah.
So this is my feeling. My feeling is my standards. My standard actually kind of like reducing. I'm not sure whether uh, you have also the same feeling as me.
Okay. Do you mean that the appearance of the girls in the college at that time is more attractive than maybe the girls that you meet nowadays?
Mm, no, this is not what I mean. I mean the girl is the same girl,
Okay.
and their appearance
Before and after college?
maybe also didn't change much. Just about your attitude, just about just about you. The mind of yours have changed. Yeah,
Um,
it's about the psychology. I
mm,
don't think this is not the external factor. This is the internal factors.
mm, yeah.
Or maybe to give another example is in college you don't think many girl is suitable for you to take initiative to start a new relationship. You don't have the desire, you don't have the thought to start a relationship with them because of maybe their attitude. You think some of it is you don't like, something
Mm,
like that. And after some time, the girl is the same girl, or maybe other girls, but the attitude are the same. Maybe the girl have the same attitude that you don't like. You don't you are not appreciate when you are in secondary school, but after sometimes you actually feel that it is not a big problem,
mm,
and it's kind of like your standard keep reducing. So it's not
mm.
just about the appearance. It also could be the the proper indicator is the standard of starting a new relationship with girls
Mm.
reducing.
Yeah, I think I maybe a little because I feel like sometimes I feel like uh, some of some of my friends, uh, female friends in the secondary school, actually they're I think they're uh, good girls, yeah, for me to like consider being girlfriends. But at that time, I yeah, I don't, like you say, I don't really think they are uh the attractive one or what. And after sometimes looking back, I think yeah, more or less, I will also have this kind of feeling.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, and also I believe uh the current girlfriend is not the beautiful girl you have met in your life, and also I mean, sorry, let me rephrase.
Mm.
The current girlfriend is not the girl uh, that you are that you that you have the chance, you have the opportunity to contact a lot of time, and also
The most good looking.
the yeah, the most good look, the 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 relatively I mean more beautiful and also more attractive.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what I actually means is in the past you have the opportunity, and also you have contacted with some girl
Yep.
that actually you can form a relationship with them, with the girls, and mm, maybe I would say like the overall could actually better than your current girlfriends. Maybe in terms of looking, in terms of attractiveness, in terms of like the personalities, the attitude of that. Yeah.
Yep.
But you
Yep.
didn't start a relationship because at that time it's not it's not because the girl is not attractive. The girl is attractive, and for now, if you look back, the girl is so attractive. Yeah, it's
Mm.
attractive to you.
Yep.
Yeah, but at that time, why you didn't start the relationship?
Mm.
It's because of some reason, some psychology reason inside of your mind that stop you to take initiative, to continue and to take actions. Yeah. So this is what I want to say. Sorry, I don't have a really good theory about it. Yeah.
How about I try to make an example? You see whether you see whether this example can fit in what you
Yeah.
want to say.
Okay.
Make it simple. It is like when you go into a garden, and the garden, or you can say it is a farm, and the farm is growing apples, and you
So
want to pick the biggest one.
so no, I think it's not a good analogy. I know what you're going to say. Yeah, I know what you're going to say, but it's not good analogy because, in my opinions, because this is not a simple thing. This is quite complicated, and this is regarding to the psychology. I don't really think you can use an analogy to understand it without really looking at the detail and try to see the implication. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and also this is a reason why I focus on understanding, and also it's kind of like it's you try to bring out an analogy, and you think you can use it to understand. It's just like you spend a lot of time in exam, just aim for the exam, just aim for the short term understanding.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's not the case. It's much more complicated than that. You really need to study more. You really need to learn a lot of things in order to understand the subject. Just like uh for for the new thing I mentioned just now, it is a psychology thing. There are a lot of implication inside. I didn't say uh this is not the external one. This is not the external factor. This is our internal factor. And also the implication is not just simply you become so cheap. Yeah, your standard just reducing. It could be something related to mental cost. If you fully understand it, it can help in your life. Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so without understand it more detail, without the counterparty really understand it, really have the really feel in that way, and really can have a maybe discuss with me, or maybe I can search the information and self-learning. And I don't appreciate uh other people use the analogy. Yeah, there is totally uh regardless with this case study. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the last one I want to talk about the bad attitude. And this is one of the the thing I regret in college. And I actually treat quite bad the to my friend, especially in year one. Yeah, or in maybe in the A level. Yeah, because I don't really change much after graduate from secondary school. So my attitude to the friendship is didn't change much. And yeah, of course, I did evolve, and I did learn something from that. I did learn the lesson. So some lesson I learned, I think I implicitly mentions. Okay, of course I didn't explicitly mention about it. Of course, and also yeah, I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first one is uh yeah, and I kind of like think that they're stupid. Okay, and this is not in the conscious mind. It's not like I think they're stupid and I'm going to help them, I'm going to show them the right direction. Or no, this is not that thing. I have a good intention, I really want to help them, I really want them uh to keep to do the same to do the same thing as me. And as I can see how huge the benefit what I'm doing, I want them to do together with me to do the same thing. And also, if I do something wrong, I want to point out. I want let them know that if you do this kind of thing and what's the consequences, you are going to end badly. Okay, and this is have the good intention. What I mean is, uh, the idea that I think people is stupid and people couldn't make decision for themselves is not on the conscious level, in the subconscious level. Because I on the subconscious level, I want to help them by giving them every instruction. This is the idea. Okay, uh, to apologize if you haven't had, if you don't have this kind of experience before, if you never thought this before, you can't really have the same feel as me. You can't really feel what I want to, what I say, as the following. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe you can remember, you maybe after some time you can recall, or maybe if you have the experience and you can really feel that, you can really understand that. And okay, this is something like the helicopter parents, and this is also something like the micro management. Yeah, and this is something about the free markets. You don't think they know more themselves than you. You don't think they actually are also doing the trade-off, are doing the cost and benefit analysis in their mind. They are finding the best solution for them in terms of maximizing the benefits and reducing the cost. Maybe it's a mental cost. And because people are different, they have different values, they have different uh, worldview, they have different moral standards, they have different preference. So how can you really make decisions for them? How can you really do the micromanagement? How can you really show them the direction and then give them instruction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they just follow your instruction and do the thing you order them to do. Yeah, it's
Yep.
not possible. And so after some time, I realized, yeah, a lot of things is just a choice. You have your own choice, and I don't need to, and I don't have the ability, and I don't have the privilege to control your decision, to control your choice. What I can do is, according to game theory, if you're doing something that I don't like, I will also respond to it by maximizing my benefits. Let's say if I notice I'm in the environment that's not going to benefit me, myself in the long term, I will quit the environment. I'll try to break the environment. I will join another environment. Yeah. If I think something something is kind of like stopping my progress, I will break the relationship. Yeah, and also when I share something, I aim to increase my understanding, to improve my mental model or improve my connective system. Yeah, and I try to be right. I try to be objective. I try to give the advice that I truly believe it should be like that. But after the advice, I don't really care whether people follow it or not, whether people doing it correct or not. For example, investment. Do I criticize your investment thesis ever? No. But I share my but I also share a lot of advice with you. Like you have to do investment, and although like in the beginning, uh, I understand that investment is very very important, and then we have discussed it a lot of time. But uh, uh, and also I give like a lot of advice, for example, like not using a leverage. But of course, people cannot just listen the piece of the leverage and then just follow. And also, for example, I tell my girlfriend you need to hold it. Yeah, think longer term and don't do trading in the short term. And how you want to put money at this point? What if the price drop 50%? What will you feel? Yeah, it's something I repeat this a lot of time. Yeah, like more. It could be more than 10 times. Yeah, when the bull market comes, she want to put in a lot of money, and I ask her, what if what if the price drop 50% and never recover after never recover uh, after within 5 years or within 4 years? How you are going to do? How are you going to react to that? Mm. And also, mm, uh, like uh, it could be other things. For example, uh, like parenting methods. Yeah, I'll try to share what I think is correct, but it doesn't mean that you have to do it. I also share about the moral value, my opinion on the moral value, but it doesn't mean that you should follow me and abandon of your moral value. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but if uh, but if you are the persons don't think twice, even after I bring out the uh, very rigid point of or the point that you the that you couldn't kind of like have a debate, okay, and it actually have like kind of like to attack and also have changed your worldview, and you don't think twice, you don't upgrade your cognitive system. I'm not thinking I'm right, I'm 100% right. I also keep improving. Yeah. And but you are the type of if you are the type of person that don't upgrade, that don't kind of like consider the new information bring into your conscious, bring into your cognitive system, and then try to think hard, try to think why I should follow the moral. Maybe you can come out your own answer. Why I don't do investment? Why I don't invest in stock? Why I invest in real estate? Why I invest in gold? Or why I still value the moral value very, very seriously, or any other thing. Yeah. Why I still like still think the parenting method is the best one. It could be many, many things. Yeah. By just ignoring my point, and then I will think this is not the person that I should spend time with. Yeah, because the more I talk with him, the less I can talk with others, the less I can learn by myself, the less I can learn from online, from internet, to upgrade my cognitive system. I couldn't see the opposite. Yeah, every people have their own bias. Yeah, and why I need to spend the time with a person that they always think that they are right, and even though other people criticize their worldview, and then maybe they agree, maybe they disagree, maybe they keep quiet, and after some time, he or she just remain the same worldview. So to me, it's kind of like waste of time. And yeah, so all of these things together combine, together become my attitude on advising. And also about the communication. Yeah, I respect other people. I respect other people's choice. And this, yeah, it doesn't mean that you are wrong. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you are wrong. Maybe you still are the right one. I'm still the wrong one. Yeah. But I couldn't get any benefit from this, from through this kind of communication or through this kind of advising. I couldn't get a feedback. Yeah. Yep. So the whole idea become like I'm more focused on myself. I'm more focused on improving myself. And also by doing so, when my ability improve, I can give a better advice. I also want to help people. Okay, but I don't view it as a short-term thing. I view it as a longer-term thing. I view how can I help people in after 10 years. Maybe after 10 years, one thing is I believe after 10 years, I can give better advice. Of course, because I keep learning. If I don't have that belief, I will not going to advise people at any time. Yeah. So first, I believe I can give a better advice. I can help people. I can help people better, help people more after 10 years compared to right now. By sharing my judgment, by sharing my advice. Yeah, by sharing my knowledge. And so that means I need to focus on long-term first. I need to focus on myself first. Because only I keep improving, I can help people more. And I really want to help people. just like what I say, having a good intention, helping people contribute to the society is very important to me. So it's also one of reason I don't like the current education system. Yeah, so all of these things combined together and shape my attitude in communication. Yeah, of course, sometimes I still rude. Yeah, but I become more respectful. Yeah, I also cultivate the humility. Of course, I'm not in the best shape. I still keep improving. Yeah, so yeah, this is also something I learned from that, and something I regret. I regret I did in college, and maybe I hurt some people.
Yeah. So your regret is not like you lose a friend or you lose a good relationship with your friends. It is like because of your attitude in the past that could give negative effects to other people, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe because my recommendation, maybe because my advice, and people have the psychology, have the bias, and they want to fight back. So they don't want to follow my advice. And if my advice is so correct and they don't follow because my bad attitude, and I'm also hurting them. Just like if you want a person not cultivate reading, you just keep recommending the book. You just share how much knowledge you can learn from book. You just keep telling them and keep telling them why, and keep asking them why you don't do that. Yeah, you are so lazy. Like say something like very bad to them. And what do you feel? What do you do? They will kind of like quote unquote prove you that they can be better. They can be better than you by not reading the book. Yeah. But is this their choice? Yeah, this is their choice. I couldn't help them if they don't want to help themselves. And also, this is their choice. Yeah. You can only help the person want to receive the help. And also, you don't need you just focus on improve yourself. And if people wants you to help them, and also they want to help themselves, they will make their own decision. They will make a rational decision. And when that time, if you can give a better advice, if you can give a more comprehensive advice, you can help the person who want to help themselves. So that means you make yourself become the better person, so that when people come to you and want to ask for help, you can help them better. It's not like you use your face, you use your hot face to kind of like stick with their cold butt, cold ass, and then you kind of like you want to help people, you go each by each. People don't need your help. Why? Yeah, if people don't need your help, why you should go to them and try to help them? No, you shouldn't do that. You should make yourself better, and then so when people need your help, they ask for your help, you can help them. Yeah, I think this is all the thing I want to share in this conversation.
Yep. And how about the startup? You just now you mentioned that, right?
Yeah, I think this is just a small thing. This is not a very serious thing.
Yeah, in previous conversation you told me a little about that, right? Which is after college you did try startup, right?
Yeah, but it also didn't win. It didn't end well. Yeah, and yeah. Nowadays, if I think, if you are doing startup, and you are not in the technology industry, it's not going to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't waste your time to do that. This is also my
And your
advice,
money.
and
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean that it is it is correct thing. Still, many people do stuck up and they are not in the technology industry, they still can get a success. I just say about the probability. And also I don't think I have the ability. Mm, mm.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So anything want to add in?
Yeah, I think I have to wish you a happy new year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
Happy New Year. Talk to you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Goodbye.